Blockchain and Crypto Trends in 2022-23. Moderated by Motti Peer, ReBlonde. With Micky Watkins, World Mobile Chain. Michael Pearl, Kirobo. Lior Lamesh, GKB. Fabio Pezzotti, Iconium. And Vasja Zupan, Matrix.
Good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here. I will start by introducing myself. My name is Motti Peer, and I'm the founder and CEO of ReBlonde. We are a PR agency representing over 50 crypto and blockchain projects, 5 of which are here on stage with me. So we will do it as follows. I will allow each and every one of you, my dear panelists, to introduce themselves about 1 minute. Then we will have a few questions for each and every one of you, tailor-made questions, then a few general questions. Go ahead, Vasja.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. I'm Fabio Pezzotti. I'm the founder and CEO of Iconium Blockchain Ventures. We are a crypto VC based out of Italy. I think the only one and one of the few in Europe. And we invest only in protocols, cryptos, and tokens. And that's our specialization. We have been around for the past 4 years and made over 80 investments in the crypto world. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabio. Now go ahead, Vasja.
Hi, thank you. So I'm Vasja Zupan. I'm president at Matrix. We are a cryptocurrency exchange. We have a multilateral trading facility and custodian license in ADGM in Abu Dhabi. And we were the first to launch. And also, I'm using this opportunity to announce that we are also the first to extend the product line of any of the exchanges regulated in Abu Dhabi. So we are introducing new pairs and OTC kind of RFQ product just this week. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Pearl. I'm the COO of Kirobo. Kirobo is a blockchain technology company that is creating a safe and secure environment for Web3. Our flagship product, the Liquid Vault, which is an on-chain wallet with backup and inheritance capabilities, was launched in December. And we're also famous for creating the undo button, allowing people to retrieve crypto transfers sent in error.
How important it is, an undo button for crypto transactions. Now Lior, who just last night was selected in Israel for the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, Lior Lamesh, co-founder and CEO at GK8. My background is cybersecurity, the level of national security. I used to work for the Israeli Prime Minister's office. I was part of an elite team that protected the strategic assets of the country from cybersecurity attacks. We started GK8 over 4 years ago when we hacked ourselves one of the most popular cold wallets in the market. The reason we could do it is because it wasn't a real cold. So at GK8 we created the first cold vault that can create, sign and send blockchain transactions without being connected to the internet. We're pairing this technology along with the MPC for automated transactions. We are working today with banks, exchanges, custodians, hedge funds, providing them with a self-managed custody platform, enabling them to offer new revenue streams, including DeFi, staking, custody, and tokenization services. These clients managing over $50 billion in digital assets, including eToro, Celsius, and more. I'm honored to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lior. Go ahead, Alan. World Mobile.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Omnitz. I'm COO and co-founder with World Mobile. We're building a decentralized mobile network and creating a sharing economy for distributed network. What does that mean? It means we're enabling half of the world. Our aim is to help support enabling half of the world who are currently not connected. We're here to enable play to earn, learn to earn, but that's not possible without connectivity. So World Mobile is aiming to connect the unconnected, and that's why we're here.
Thank you, Alan, and we will stay with you. So, the developing world is increasingly embracing crypto as a mean of economic self-empowerment. What future do you see for crypto in the emerging economies?
It's probably the most exciting place to be at the moment. We've seen mobile money. It's gained adoption rapidly across Africa. And why is that? There's been no legacy infrastructure. So it's a perfect place for innovation. It's a perfect place for rapid adoption. So we see ourselves in between what's being created, all of these amazing services, applications that are going to enable the innovation. So DeFi, microloans, the play-to-earn, learn-to-earn solutions that you see around us today, the metaverse. All of that people want to use today. The demand is there. But what's stopping that demand? Connectivity. We're all used to having connection, in here. Maybe sometimes it's difficult in the hotels, but we have connectivity. When you talk about meaningful connectivity, you're looking at more like 80% of the world doesn't have affordable, meaningful connectivity. And when you're talking about 80% of people who want access to all of these services, we see ourselves bridging that gap and helping to bridge the digital divide.
Thank you. Lior, what key threats will define the blockchain security landscape in 2022? And a follow-up question, is the playing field still too risky for institutional players?
So, Motti, it's a very interesting topic. When we started our company over 4 years ago, it was around $1 billion that was stolen in a year in cryptocurrencies. And last year it was over 14 billion. The most fundamental layer that need protection eventually is the private keys. The private keys are being used in order to make money movement transactions, DeFi transactions, staking. So everything needs private keys. Today, institutions, when they want to manage a large amount of money in digital assets, they need to choose between two core technologies, mainly hot or cold wallets. The main and the most popular hot wallets based on MPC technology, which becomes some kind of market standard today. But the truth is that it's not secure enough to protect a large amount of money because MPC based on a few internet-connected computers. And what hackers need to do in order to compromise them is to invest a few millions in order to potentially steal billions. On the other end, there is a cold wallet solutions, while the existing ones at some point need to be connected to the internet since the blockchain is interactive protocol that requires this input. So what institutions need to do is to make a combination between a cold vault that can make the process without being connected to the internet, that manage the majority of the assets along with the MPC for the automated transactions. Another important aspect for institutions adopting crypto is to make sure that they also have insurance in place. At GK8, we provide each of our clients with up to $750 million of insurance. We have a partnership with the Aon at London. This creates the needed peace of mind for banks and exchanges who need to run very sensitive services for their clients.
You told me once that it cost about $1 million to hack into online wallet. Is that still the cost, or
Which
is it
one?
going
Sorry?
down? To go to break into hack into a non-cold wallet, the cost was around $1 million.
Yeah,
is that still the price, or is it going down?
Yeah, that's right. At least based on our experience, it's safe to assume that around $1 million in average would be enough for hacker to invest in order to compromise one public internet-connected computer. That's why, again, when you're a bank or exchange that need to manage more than only $2 or $3 million, but tens or hundreds, using multi-sig or multi-party computation solution only is not sufficient because all it do is splitting the key into 2 or 3 parts. So what hacker will have to do is to invest these $2 or $3 million in order to potentially steal billions.
Thank you. Michael, so we all know that crypto is risky business, and undoubtedly an undo button is a very good and innovating solution. However, my question for you is, will using crypto will ever be as convenient as using online banking? And if so, when?
I think that it will be, but we're definitely not there yet. You know, yesterday I walked around here and I saw amazing projects, a lot of innovation, but it's mostly focused on the ease of doing things. So there are a lot of projects that allow you to, for instance, send crypto through your messaging app. It's a genius idea. And those projects will facilitate, you know, the future of the ease of doing things. But let's talk about the dangers, the perils, right? We see so many risks and problems right now in the crypto space, and especially in the DeFi space, that can cause you to lose your money in a heartbeat. And come to think of it, we move more and more of our assets, and now even identity, right now with the metaverse, even our identity is blockchain based. But we're lacking the basic infrastructure for that. I mean, think about it, we're in 2022 and we're still using a piece of paper to write the seed phrase. So we need viable solutions for storing our crypto, for protecting our wallets, because our wallets are essentially our identities now in the metaverse, protecting our NFTs.
So what will substitute that piece of paper?
So the Liquid Vault, for instance, is a solution that we offer that basically eliminates this fear of losing this piece of paper. The way it works with our backup feature is essentially, even if you lose your original wallet, which you use to open the Liquid Vault, you can still have an alternative wallet. You can define an alternative wallet that will serve as the login to your Liquid Vault, and essentially that backs up, again, your assets, your NFTs, and your identity.
Thank you. So to you, Vasja, the only local in the panel, as you're leading an Abu Dhabi exchange, successful one. So we can see a lot of the leading Middle East economies working to reinvent themselves as high-tech and innovating hubs. What role do you expect blockchain to play in the future of this region?
Yeah, as you can see, the market here is really vibrant. Yesterday, this place was buzzing full of people, so there's a lot of development. And I'm sure that in general in the Middle East, not just here in Dubai, UAE, the blockchain development is something that is super important. We have seen governments and institutions to kind of take the initiative. Just in recent 3 weeks, there was a bunch of announcements. So first by Dubai regulator that they are introducing new regulation, and by the way, that regulation is not existing yet, so anyone claiming that they have the license, you need to go and double check. Then just a couple of days later, one of the free economic zones, the IFC here, announced that they have published a consultation paper which also regulates the cryptocurrency businesses. In Abu Dhabi, ADGM just yesterday announced a consultation paper on their regulation, which is kind of showing the most upfront development in the region. The ADGM was really ahead of everyone else for a long time already, but now they are introducing NFT regulation, which I haven't seen before. And in our case, they are regulating as a proper exchange, a proper trading facility, regulating not just AML KYC as what you see in Europe and US, but also like market surveillance, market manipulation prevention, and so on. So I do believe this industry will play a huge role in the region, especially given all the wealth that is kind of concentrating here in UAE. Thank you.
Thank you. Fabio, VCs are the spearhead of the push for Web3. Somebody needs to explain to me once and for all what is Web3, but we'll skip it for now. But what is your strategy for 2022?
Yeah, thank you, Motti. We basically, it's a little bit about strategy and a little bit about the opportunities we see in the market right now. And I think the next 12 months, let's say, we'll see an increased usage of a multi-chain environment. So people using different chains, and there will be obviously an impact with regulation. So we think that basically the main thematic say, thesis or investment thesis that you can have on cryptos in the next 12 years will be everything that makes it easier for people to onboard and offboard, which partially depends on regulation. And the other part would be the ease of use multiple blockchains with one wallet. So we have called it actually the war of the wallets. Recently, MetaMask came out saying that they will be launching a token, which will be like a major event, obviously. Others have already started to launch tokens, and they are completely compatible with different chains.
So you will favor investing into projects that are using multi-chains?
We'll actually favor investing in let's say cross-chain solutions. And in the meantime, we think that like everybody before me has talked about security and wallets and everything, we're also investing, and we have already started investing in wallet solutions and ways for people to bring mass adoption with wallets that are more understandable and clear to people like normal people, because we are basically 300 million people are not the normal people in the world. And so that's what we think is going to be very, very important in the near future.
Thank you. All right, now let's switch to some general type questions. So with Facebook's announcement that they're stepping into the metaverse, they mainly open the floodgates for many other players to to participate. So there are two camps. One of the huge, big mammoth companies such as Facebook, and then some native crypto and blockchain project. We will stay with you, Fabio. Which of the two camps would you favor?
Easy question for me. Obviously, is the decentralized version of the metaverse. I think we have really two different worlds. I mean, today Meta or Facebook or whatever you call it is basically a solution or a tool or a big push for having Oculus being sold all over the places and selling games in the, let's call it in the metaverse, but it's basically a new way of gaming. I don't know if anybody remembers, but Facebook started before their advertising business model with trying to sell games and include a community. That was a community of gamers. That was the first business model for Facebook. We think that it's going to be completely different from the decentralized metaverse for one very simple reasons. Facebook wants you to pay to get included in this metaverse. Blockchain metaverses are trying to get people included and part of these metaverses, giving incentives to participate and to share. If you want, the profit and the success of these metaverses. So if you think about, I mean, all the communities, they are growing very fast, whether it's play to earn, whether it's buying lands in the virtual metaverse or buying lands represented by the real world. There is always a mechanism that makes people incentivized and belonging to the community by ways of holding and using their tokens to participate in this game. The difficult part here is obviously to understand, at least as far as we are concerned, to understand when a metaverse is really decentralized and when a metaverse is only nominally decentralized and is still very, very centralized in the main functions. We like and we obviously envision a world of decentralized metaverses that belong to communities and also cross solutions for metaverses. So whatever you buy something on a metaverse, you will be able to bring it to another metaverse. We're far from there. Obviously, the technology is evolving and everything can happen in the next 2-3 years. But the graphic and the user interface is clearly not the one that you can see in centralized environments. But we think this is the adventurous part that people like and they like to be part of, and they're willing to wait for more speed, better graphic, better user interface, in order to join these nascent meta worlds, let's say.
Fantastic. Vasja, what is your take on that? And will you ever list metaverse type project on your exchange?
Yeah, I'm sure you will see them listed. But I don't see these two competing. I think they are actually complementary one to another. I can totally see a big corporation like Facebook developing this new generation, next level entertainment and waste of time. That's absolutely something that I can see. But the true social innovation will come from this grassroots crypto innovation, crypto community. We just have to remember, you know, blockchain was not invented by IBM.
Michael, we're ready for your take, and how will your technology come into play in the metaverse?
Sure. So there's a saying that goes, when there's a will, there's a way. In this case, I'm not sure it's true. I mean, big tech definitely has a will to tap into the metaverse, but I'm not sure if they can do it, or at least to do it on a large scale, because the metaverse and the blockchain infrastructure in general has its own ways of conduct, has its own philosophy. Their users have a different way of doing things. And look at the Libra project. They invested so much money in it. They took some amazing partners, along with a lot of other big tech companies like PayPal and Airbnb and so on, and they didn't succeed. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do agree with the rest of my colleagues here that the biggest innovation is going to come from the grassroots, from the decentralized projects, and there will be a place for the big tech companies, but it will be very confined, and it will be limited. It will be for the masses. It will be in a very protected, safe areas. But for the most of it, the metaverse will be decentralized and will come from the decentralized companies. And as for your second question, again, I think that in this atmosphere of the metaverse, where so much of our lives is shifting to a decentralized environment, you need to have a protected and a safe infrastructure that will keep you safe. Just to give you an example, you know, our founder that is here in the audience, he said that if my son's Fortnite profile is going to be deleted, I don't know what's going to happen. So we imagine what's going to happen if your Gmail account is going to be deleted. How many things do we store? How many accesses do we have to all the things that we do in our day-to-day lives with our Gmail? So in the metaverse, your Gmail account and your Facebook account will be your wallet. Hence, you need a proper solution to be able to trust your wallet, to facilitate your funds, your identity, and in the future, maybe your ownership of your house. So we're definitely like that.
So it's not that someone is going to pickpocket my avatar in the metaverse, right? That's not the risk.
Pickpocket, I think that there is something worse than just to pickpocket it. Someone can impose as Motti pair, and then what happens?
I hear you. Lior, let's talk a little bit about regulations. How do you see this area evolving in 2022?
So we see that clearly the regulation got very progressed in the past years. We're facing it at GK8 as a custody provider that since the end of 2019, it started at the BaFin in Germany, that every German bank can offer crypto custody since then. In July 2020, if I'm not wrong, the OCC decided that every American bank can start and offer a crypto custody service. And every time we see it in any other in a lot of other locations. I had a quick chat with Vasja before, and he just told me that yesterday there was even an update in the local regulation here in Dubai that they're even regulating NFTs. So this space is clearly progressing. When it comes to crypto custodies, they do need a license if they want to offer services by themselves. They do need it when they want to manage the private keys themselves. So it's a very important topic, and it's progressed.
Thank you. Alan, I guess you're not bringing Africa to the metaverse, but I will ask you about crypto regulation in Africa. How is it looking right now? Is there any?
Just to touch on the metaverse, although you say that we're not bringing metaverse to Africa, we believe that it's fundamental that it is enabled and we create that accessibility. So the metaverse is important in Africa as it is anywhere else. So, but in answer to regulation, it's about keeping something simple. It's also about not trying to retrofit something, and yeah, you're trying to fit something into an old legacy infrastructure. So it needs to be innovative. The challenge that we have is speeding up the process so the innovation can happen. From a regulator's point of view, they need to keep it simple. They need to have sandbox capabilities. They need to identify the risks for users. So in the same way that anybody can smoke if they choose to, it's about identifying the risks and not preventing people from doing it. So in the same way, people should have a choice to buy crypto in whatever shape or form. The regulator's role is about identifying the scammers and the risks to the individuals, but also allowing that innovation to take place.
All right, Steve, last question. I always close my panel with the same question, which will be, what will be the price of Bitcoin at the end of the year? Now, usually lawyers and accountants and investors are trying to avoid it, but you can't do it here. It's also filmed, and you will be accountable for it at the end of the year. So we will start with you, Alan. Where do you see Bitcoin closing at the end of this year?
There are many macro factors, and we see that...
Are you an accountant?
We see the institutional capability to buy into digital assets has matured greatly. So we see there's a general movement in a positive way. And
I need a number. Give me a number.
Okay. 65.
Pretty cool. Lior.
I predict the Bitcoin to score an all-time high this year. I would say 80,000. The reason why I'm saying that, by the way, is because we see more and more traditional financial institutions adopting crypto. We were participating ourselves in tens of RFIs and RFPs with the largest banks in the world, either in Europe and in the US. And I think that this is something that's going to increase the mass adoption, and a lot of retail clients going to have the ability to hold their crypto within their banks. So I clearly see that coming sometimes towards the end of the year.
Fantastic. Michael.
Unfortunately, I'm a lawyer, so I'm not going to give you any figure. But what I can say is this. I think that not Bitcoin, but the DeFi, the GameFi, and the Metaverse coins are going to grow much, much faster than Bitcoin. The crypto environment now is much bigger than just buy and hold. People are more focused on using the crypto. So I think that we'll see those tokens growing at a much faster pace.
You avoided the same question back in our panel in Kiev in 2018. All right, Vasja.
Consistent.
Give me a number.
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of context. I'm in this industry of cryptocurrency exchanges for the last 7-8 years. We are talking about the mass adoption, institutional adoption since I remember. So it was mentioned a couple of times before, and just in the morning I saw the news that Morgan Stanley did the first cryptocurrency OTC deal with options. So just recently with Grayscale, which is a clear sign of mainstream, like one of the biggest institutional kind of investment banks investing in crypto. So I'm personally all in. I'm super bullish on Bitcoin long term. I'm not giving you a number, but I can say that maybe not at the end of this year, but definitely after next halving, I could easily see 5 times all-time high that we have seen last year.
I'll take it. Fabio.
Yes, just a little bit of context for me too, but very quickly, I think first of all that Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market was already in a bull run before the conflict started in Ukraine. That was stopped in a way, but also the price of Bitcoin, which is still a lot related to all the other coins, which means that if there is a prolonged bear market or bull market for Bitcoin, then it's going to be reflected on altcoins. But one big question is going to be regulation. So regulation, we need regulation, and we need. I can speak for Italy, but I hear the same similar stories for the rest of Europe. Today there is in theory a European regulation that allows, and there are actually exchanges that are licensed, like banks, allowed to do business in Europe. But then most of the people that try to do that, even high net worth individuals with their private banks, they have troubles in getting the banks actually sending money to the crypto exchanges or getting money back from the crypto exchanges. So this is, I mean, regulation is one thing, banking is another thing. Banks don't want to deal, at least in Southern Europe, with the cryptos. They don't see it like a business, but a threat. And this is a problem, because if you can imagine if banks started to promote actively Bitcoin as an investment asset, then you would have an incredible adoption. Having said that, I think the market is unstoppable. And above all, Bitcoin is the real thing. Is totally decentralized. Is working without a company behind, and probably it will be there for a long time. Even when 90% of the other coins will be gone away. So I give my prediction: by the end of the year, it's going to be over $100,000.
I like it. My number is 150,000. I stand behind it. It's on camera. And we will check it again on December 31st. Thank you so much, guys, for coming and participating. And thank you for listening in. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you.